said, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. Why primary challenge? We have a constitutional crisis. Our economy is collapsing. Our republic is being subverted. Letter writing may slow it down, but it cannot stop it. Phone calls may slow it down, but it cannot stop it. Town hall meetings may rally us and slow it down, but it cannot stop it. Marching on Washington may rally us and slow it down, but it cannot stop it. Primary challenge can take back the republic by taking back control of our government, and we can do it in 2010. What do committeemen do? We interview and select our state representatives. We interview and select our U.S. representatives. We interview and select our judges. We interview and select our sheriffs. We count the votes. We make or change the party rules and bylaws. We can influence the election laws. We choose the delegates. We choose the party leaders, which is the elite conduit for corruption. And we can stop corruption. Now, when we interview these people, we can now make it a requirement that they believe in, accept, and execute the Constitution. And right now, the elitists have all their people in power throughout the country, and their requirement is corruption. We have to require the opposite. We have to require the law, which is the Constitution. So we have that option. We can do that. You know, we can, when we interview the sheriffs, we could talk to him about understanding his power and what his role is in our community and how he can protect us. When we interview the judges, we can find out if they're going to apply constitutional law above administrative law or administrative law above the constitutional law. And there's a number of other things we can do. We'll talk about a little later on as we go through as far as making certain laws and requirements for them. We also can twist the arms of the existing legislators already in power. This year, all of Congress is up for re-election, all 435 seats. That happens every 2 years on the even years. Same thing happens with the committeemen. I get so many phone calls from people telling me that they want to run for committeemen and get involved with us, but they can't do it because they called up the Republican Party or the Democrat Party, most of the cases the Republican Party, or maybe even the Board of Elections, and they say, well, there's no seats this year, they're all full. Well, every seat is vacated this year, 2010, 2012, 2014. Every 2 years, just like Congress, they're vacated and they have to rerun. So they don't want you to know about that. We also can fill the vacant seats in the odd years. If there's a seat that is not taken, we can go and fill those seats in the odd years. We can't challenge someone who has a seat, but we can take the seats that are not occupied. So they're going to lie to you. You know, when a candidate comes into the process, the very first thing is they have to go through the Republican or the Democrat Party. And that's when they get to them. They corrupt them when they're candidates. They start to work them and manipulate them. And if they don't fall into line, and they don't fall into the right kind of message, then they're not going to support them and they don't get in. They have to be corruptible. If they're not corrupted already during the process, they will become corrupted, they will get something on them, and they will control them. So the only other way we can get good people in is for us to take control of the process, and we get to decide who the candidates are going to be, and we walk their paperwork and get in. And we can do that through primary challenge, even though we are not committeemen yet. We can come together as a group, a coalition, not only here in this town or this county, but in the county next door and the county upstate, throughout the whole state, 62 counties. This is what we're doing in all these counties. And we're working for the grassroots candidates to walk their paperwork, and primary challenge is here to help everyone in any way we can to get you through the process, to teach you the process, to teach you the Constitution, to teach you the history of progressivism. So we could stop that corruption just by taking power, and we would be cutting off the head. If they are not corrupted in the process of getting into the system, then there's a good chance they may not be corrupted once they get into the system. One of the key things of corruption, again, is the committeeman process. That's where all the deals go on. It goes on through the county seats, it goes to the state seats, and of course it goes to a national level. And when the deals are made, then the money transfers into a lot of these people through the special interest groups in Washington or even here in New York. And we got to cut all that out. We have to get back to the basics. We have to turn the lights on, and we got to cut off the corruption. How do I become a committeeman? You fill out a designated petition. We saw what the petition looks like. There's not much to it. We have to be registered in the party that you're running in. If you're not registered in a Republican or Democrat party and you want to become a committeeman, you need to get registered before the next election, before the next primary, I think. It may be the next election, but I would say before the next primary. And then you'll be eligible to run in the next primary, which is 2011. You won't be able to run for committeeman this year, but you can still help us get the word out and help build the coalition. So you have to be registered in the party you're running. We'll help anyone become a committeeman. It doesn't matter what party they're in. Matter of fact, we're going to teach people that when you go out in the process, if you're a Republican, I find that most people involved in these liberty groups are Republicans, but there are Democrats amongst us. And we're going to teach you when you go into your neighborhoods that you're going to want to knock on everyone's door and give them the message of what you're doing, why you're doing it. I mean, you don't have to do this, but we really should. We need to wake up America. We need to do this across the whole country and get this information out, and then they can't bury it no more, and then we can take over the system. But more than that, we need to take back both parties. And when I say we, I mean we, the people, need to take back both parties, both Republican and Democrat. Democrats want the Constitution just as well as you do. So we need to support them. We need to ask them, once you come walking with us, and we'll walk with you as you go through the process of getting our signatures and handing out little constitutional booklets. They're very cheap. You can get 100 of them for $30. We'll be putting that, I haven't got it up online yet, but we'll put that access up online where you can buy these things pretty cheap, the Constitution booklets, handbooks. And you'll want to carry, of course, the petitions of the people that you're going to be supporting, like Tony back here and some others. You're going to want to carry information about them, not just their paperwork, but maybe a small flyer, not too wordy. Maybe Anthony could put something together for us, and we'll hand it out to the people to get them to vote for Anthony. But again, we want to knock on the Democrats' doors also, because when Anthony wins the Republican primary, and he will win, if we get him on a ticket, it's a slam dunk for him. He will win the primary. I'm no doubt in my mind. All the people we support, I believe, will win, because most of this is Republican. Most of the grassroots that we are supporting are Republican as far as the candidates are concerned. They're Republican, and the Republican Party, probably 80%, if not more, of the Republican Party, and somehow relates to the Tea Party movement and the Liberty Group movement. Either they're a member, or at least they feel that they're part of what they're doing, whether they participate or not. And those are the people that are going to show up. I don't think there's anyone in this room that's not going to show up to vote in this primary. I'm sure everyone will. And so we're probably going to have record turnouts across the entire country.